Hey, everybody. My voice is gonna go in and out, and I wanted to give a quick update on where I'm at right now. I am physically feeling better, but I mean anybody that's had COVID and had it bad, it's a different type of monster. It really is. It's sort of I feel better, but yet like at least I'm not nauseated like I was when I had the first like 5 6 days. That was pretty bad. Hard to keep food down and that type of things. But overall, I am feeling better. I just not at the stage yet where I can do a whole lot. Thankfully, the church gave me extra time, and probably I'm going to wind up needing to have extra time beyond 14 days because, like right now, physically, it's too much for me to try to do much. So, you know, potentially as well, I may just with they put me on prednisone, an antibiotic, and the prednisone makes your blood sugar numbers go sort of wacky. So potentially, I may wind out depending on how I'm feeling about it, or if I feel my health isn't where it needs to be, I may go to the doctor or the hospital just to get checked out to make sure there's nothing weird or wrong going on. But overall, I'll be back at some point. I know you guys are all, understand that, and I really do appreciate all the kind words. Uh, I appreciate a lady stopped by today, concerned grandma, and really appreciate her just stopping by and getting a chance to talk. And we stayed away from each other because I don't really like. I think it was I tested positive on the 27th. So I think I'm past that time now where I'm contagious, but it's still something that I'm really, really careful with. And the CDC regulations are really bizarre because they say about now it's 5 days and then 5 days with a mask once your symptoms are gone. But it's really non-specific, like whether you're vaccinated or not. Like I have the first shot of Moderna, but I had the second shot was going to be on the 12th. And I've been hearing conflicting things on that. Like you're supposed to wait 6 months before you get that next shot. And then other things I've read said you can get it as soon as your symptoms are gone and you're clear and you no longer have COVID. And so I got to talk around a few different professionals to find out what the exact answer is in that regard because I don't really want to do something that could potentially put my health at risk. But I'd like to get that second shot because this Londonderry Village job is still a possibility, good possibility. So worst case, I went out. There's a local grocery store that's a really good company to work for. I'll go do that for a little while, and I do have my landscape job with Jim waiting for me if I need it. But so overall, I'm doing well. I'd like to get certain things done. Once my voice is a little more in place and I'm feeling a little better, I'll start putting my research together, and and then put some videos together that I can do like the audio work with pictures, so at least I'm getting content out again. Because I have a lot of things with that I'd like to do. Some really cool material. I've been talking as well to the normal people that I'm talking to, which I appreciate. And then I was just talking on Instagram with a lady named Angie that she made me aware of. Cliff had just done a video for Wandering Woodsman about Fort Granville and I think Fort Patterson. And Granville is familiar because that has to do with Simon Girty. I had done the video there at Fort Hunter on Simon Girty, who was a frontiersman. He's a unique individual because a lot of people made him out to be the great Satan, but there was a lot more there. There was a lot of abuse done to his family, and Cliff doing the video on Fort Granville, he gave the story about John Turner, who was Simon Girty's stepfather, who had wound out surrendering Fort Granville to the French and the Indians, and then was brutally tortured and murdered. And there's various stories on why that might have been. Whether any of them is true, I mean, we're never probably going to really know for sure. But it was cool to see that video because I was like, oh, Fort Granville. And then he started talking about John Turner. I was like, oh, I just did a video on that. So it's cool how, I mean, we were talking a little bit because she had asked about if there's any kind of grants or those types of things for Revolutionary War cemeteries, because I think his name was John Hoyt, if I remember correctly, in a cemetery in Lewistown, who was actually, I guess, a U.S. senator, but he was also a Revolutionary War vet, and he's buried in this cemetery. And it's cool that she has the concern about preserving those things because, it's so often it just gets forgotten about. And like I was saying to her, it's such a cool time period of history that so much went on in the French and Indian War. And that was with the lady who had stopped by here. And really, and I say to her specifically, you made my day. You really made my day. You guys mean the world to me. And that stuff means more than you know. Because, it's depressing sometimes because you're like, oh my gosh, what else is going to happen? But this channel has got me through a lot and has been that bright spot. It's got me really getting back on my writing. At some point, I want to start doing, once the voice is back and that type of stuff, because otherwise it's pointless. I want to read some of my writing, talk about why, I do what I do, what the significance of some of it is, what was led me to write those stories, the motivation behind it, that type of stuff, and then maybe a little more deeper, intricate look into the meaning of the different books and stories, and the history of them too, because it's pretty cool. I really enjoy it. There's a lot to it, more than just the surface. So I'm really looking forward to that. I have a lot of stuff once I'm back and healthy. I want to do more of these videos like the Milton Hershon video, the one on Jacob Albright and John Walter, which we've done their Pennsylvania historic markers, but we haven't done the deeper story of them and then the impact they made through the Evangelical Association. I also want to do a lot of these early church leaders who really started church, whether it was Presbyterian church, the Reformed church, the Lutheran church, Moravian church, even Catholic church. There's certain people here in America that are considered the fathers of those particular aspects of the faith. And I think it's something that is really intriguing, a little more in depth, a little more documentary prize style. So I'm looking forward to doing some of those. The hometown history heroines, I want to do the first one of that. That's one of those I can do. Colleen's also sent me a number of viewers submitted ideas for the Pennsylvania historic markers. And then I also want to do research on this John Hoyt that Angie brought up to me, because I'd like to talk about him. Because, this is a guy that was extremely influential and important. He was a war hero. He was a U.S. senator, and he should be known about. So, so anyways, that's what's coming up, what's going on. I'm doing well. It's just, I sound worse than I am, I guess. But, it's one day at a time, and I'll be back. But it is one of those things that I'm a ways away yet. I was hoping that, once the voice is back, then I'll be able to do at least some of the audio work. But like the videoing and stuff like that's probably a ways away yet, because it's just, what I am able to do. I've got to be packing and doing that type of stuff. But there's a plan, a little few things to figure out here and there, because it's just not knowing exactly. I got to get the right information, like with the second shot, because I need to get that so I can get in at Londonderry Village, which would be the best future for me being able to get back on my feet and that type of stuff. But once again, I just want to say thank you. for all your kind words, thinking of me. And it really does mean a lot. I wanted to put a video out as ugly as this thing's going to be, you know. But it is one of those things that I wanted to let you guys know and you know, have a video. You know, I'm doing okay. It's just going to take a while. I mean, this is definitely, until you experience it, it's sort of like you really, I don't think there's any way of really explaining it other than it's a process, it's time. You got to be patient and do what the doctor says. I'm taking everything I'm supposed to. And like I said, I'm getting better. It's just COVID better, which is still pretty crappy. But it's getting there. And hopefully we'll see you back about town. And we'll have more adventures and whatnot, and a lot of cool stuff I think that we have coming up. And I really think this next year is going to be an awesome year for the channel. I do want to try to travel more, go a little further, because I've tried primarily to stay in like Lebanon County where I'm from. I've done some in Burke, some in Schuylkill County, Lancaster County, and Dauphin County, are the surrounding counties here. But I'd like to go a little further, because I really do want to make that trip, which is Schuylkill County, for Pottsville, because there's so much history in Pottsville. But I'd like to go back up to Jim Thorpe, that Mock Chunk cemetery. I really like to explore with you guys, and then take another run up around the town just to talk about the history. Also, like up near down in Lidditz, Mannheim, those are some really neat towns, a lot of history, a lot of cool different places there. I'd like to hit a couple railroad stations with you guys, Strasburg in particular, Kempton, and then Middletown. There's a lot of history in the town of Middletown. I'd like to get together with my friend John, because he's talked about that, and explore some of the really neat stuff that's just towns like that. So there's a lot out there, a lot of hometown history. I want to go through Annville, take you guys along a street tour there at some point. We're a ways away, but a lot of cool stuff coming up for the channel once I'm not about to die. And once I get healthy enough where I'm able to do all that again, we'll be back full strength. You guys are the best. You really are. You're the best people, viewers, subscribers, friends that I could have. You really have been awesome, and I really do mean that. And you know, I hope I can continue to be what this channel has been so far, and continue that as we go further and further down the road. We're 600 some strong, and we'll continue to grow. I do want to try as well. I said before, I want to try some of those YouTube shorts. I want to do the Palmyra one, John Palm, but also I want to do an introduction to the channel. So hopefully, maybe it'll generate some interest, that people will come and check out the channel and see what it has to offer, and we'll go from there. But once again, thank you everyone, and we will see you all about town. Thanks everybody.